Hello, Pastor Deborah here, and welcome again to another wonderful podcast show of Agape Love. Love is here, a voice of light in the darkness. And the title of this podcast is The Oppressed Spirit. We have been working through so many episodes. We're now at episode number 37. And this was a wonderful, wonderful teaching from Dr. Myles Munroe of the Bahamas Faith Ministries when he was at a conference called the Leading Edge Leadership Conference many, many years ago. I discovered Dr. Myles Munroe on the computer and would attend his Bahamas Faith Ministries church service long distance when he was live. And I read all of his books, which he has many, and I'd watch his conferences. He was an excellent teacher. What helped me was his life. He was born in the Bahamas when it was a colony of England, but yet he was of African descent, and yet he never knew or was taught anything about Africa. Because he was a colony of England, he had to learn English language, English laws, all about the Queen, because they were a colony. And God used that to teach him as an adult that his message was to teach that humanity were ignorant kings from the kingdom of heaven, and that we had to change our culture, and we had to change our traditions and our understanding and our ideas, because we were not from the earth, but we were spiritual, ignorant kings from another land, sort of like he was here on the earth. So thank you, Dr. Myles Munroe. Him and his wife, Ruth, are now in heaven. They were in an airplane crash. His Bahamas Faith Ministries is still going on, and his son and daughter are still teaching and preaching his messages. You should be able to find all of his books. He's an excellent teacher. And he has so many different topics. And this one was called about the oppressed spirit. That we were really ignorant about who we were originally when we were birthed out of the womb of God, spoken out, and became beings of dirt with inside of us a spirit on the planet. But we had lost that knowledge. We had tiny bits of it in our spirit and our soul. And we sort of got some of the patterns when nations started developing their government. They picked kings and ministers, and they created beautiful throne rooms. Now we went to a system, most of us, from the Greeks called democracy, where you vote in somebody. But we were originally from a kingdom, spiritually. And the king was never voted in. And it was a family affair. There's a son who sits on the right-hand side of this king of eternity. And we, too, humanity, was to be his spiritual children. And this was the message that Dr. Myles Munroe was teaching. But he said because our spirits were oppressed, and our will was oppressed, we didn't know this, and so we have to get free. So we're picking up here in episode number 37 of The Oppressed Spirit. And I entitled this, A Life-Giving Spirit, because I had learned through much study that I too was a God, a son, an offspring spiritually of this King of heaven, this King of eternity, this King of paradise. And I had to grow up in that knowledge. I had to get teaching, and Dr. Myles was my teacher. Then I used the Strong's Concordance and the Webster's Dictionary. I watched a lot of biblical movies. I also watched a lot of history about ancient civilizations. I studied words. I looked at the lives of pharaohs and kings and queens and their governmental systems. I studied the heart and the philosophy of earthly kings, which was sort of the pattern that we were to have. So here in this episode of number 37, The Oppressed Spirit, we're picking up where I had learned from this leading edge leadership conference that our spiritual will was still oppressed by oppressors. And who were these oppressors? It was called the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, which were controlled by strong men of Satan, which means the spiritual adversary of God. That's a whole nother other teaching you can get in the playlist called The Kingdom of Darkness. You have to understand your enemy. Soldiers, the military, they do this all the time. They study their potential enemies. They get secret intelligence. They watch them. They listen to them. They actually send spies in. Because in order to be victorious if they attack you, you have to know your enemy well. Well, I didn't, but I learned. So because this new heart that we had to have, this new identity we had to develop, this new mind of ours in our spirit, so we could then transfer that to our soul, and our soul then through our biological body could express that in words and pictures, music, art, movies. We could see it in nature, and even nature itself. For example, how many of you can speak to thunder and lightning, to the wind, and tell it that it can't do what it's doing? Or that you have a relation to a powerful spiritual angel, a minister, that can watch over you so that nature does not overcome you. As we see in many parts of the world, it's horrible. Well, I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how to speak with authority to the wind, to the thunder, to the lightning, and tell it did not serve the kingdom of darkness anymore, and they were not enslaved to it, but they were to be helpmates, helpers, and to be under my control spiritually, and to provide what they're supposed to provide through their creation. But I learned that even though many of us sort of get free, we're really not, because our will is still oppressed and needs to be set free, and then placed in the right spiritual environment, soil, with others, with teachers, with a gardener, sort of speaking, and properly watered, receive the rays of light and truth, so it can grow and mature, just like an earthly seed does. And it can produce the fruit or the flower that it was always supposed to produce. But an oppressed spiritual man, human, forever person, has a broken will, and it does not believe that it has this capacity or potential to become a free spirit and become a king, a ruler, a leader. It doesn't have that heart, that belief to do that. For the oppressed spirit and its broken will, both must get set free through spiritual deliverance, healing, and restoration that comes through education, knowledge, truth, and light. And both of your spiritual hearts, your minds, your will begin to see light and will not accept anything except truth and light that it receives from the kingdom of heaven. It will see the other opinions, and it will hear them, and it will reject them openly. Sometimes you have to openly reject and rebuke words that are said to you. I have an example. I was in the gym on a treadmill or an elliptical. A young man walked by to me and said I was crazy for coming to the gym 6 days a week. And I said, I rebuke that in the name of Christ Jesus. I cast those words down. If I didn't do that, then those words would take over and I would become crazy mentally ill. And those seeds were thrown out through the mouth of this young man. Now, he was laughing when he said it, but I had to openly rebuke the words and cast them down to the ground, sort of like devour them, spew my fire of truth out at them. I have to rebuke husband at times. I have to rebuke other people, because if you don't, those words get planted in your brain. Your soul hears it, and they start growing. And I didn't want that, because I didn't want to be crazy. Crazy had a lot of different meanings, but my old me had a biological parent who got Alzheimer's. Is that a form of craziness? Can be. So here in this new episode, number 37, we're beginning to see we have to become alive in the truth, believe in new things. We have to, the ground in our spirit and our soul have to be dug up, sort of speaking, and all the weeds taken out, and get new dirt, and have new seeds planted, new light, new water that is uncontaminated by ignorance and darkness and evil, wicked stuff, to grow into the spiritual tree of righteousness that we are to be. So eventually we develop our new identity. As a king and a ruler and a leader, it becomes alive in us, sort of born again, you might say, in our spiritual heart, our spiritual mind. And we begin declaring who we are now to ourselves. And we choose this new identity to be free of the oppression and the oppressors, and become delivered and healed from other people's ideas, concepts, rules, laws. Even if they pay us money, they offer us a good life, we don't believe what they're saying. And even some of our own ideas that have come through culture, tradition, family members, experience, we don't believe that is true anymore. But until this happens, we are still an oppressed spirit and have a broken will and are only following and believing in others and their ideas, their concepts, their opinions, their goals, their purposes for my life, their values, their morals, their self-identity of oneself. They would form me, develop me, conform me to their culture that I was born into, traditions, their religion, whether I was a male or a female, whatever my skin color was. I had no say in it. So my self-identity was formed by others. And I had to break free of that, even myself. And you'll hear about that in my personal story in the School of Light called It's Time, about my personal spiritual transformation. And we had to break our relationships, our beliefs in, our support to other people, other things, if we were going to be free and become a new creature, a life-giving spirit. Now, you are a spirit that gives things, but it's not life, it's death when you're an oppressed spirit. The words you speak, the actions you do, how you treat your loved ones, your family, your work, what you choose to do, you're not a life-giving spirit. You're a death-giving spirit. I had to learn that a true spiritual king, me, a leader, will spiritually irritate others. How many people do you irritate? I just rebuke people. I don't talk much when I'm out in crowds. I don't, believe it or not, I don't even vote. Because democracy is not of the kingdom of heaven. It's from the Greeks who do not believe in this kingdom. The kingdom of God, you are born into it, and there's a king. And he doesn't ever die. He's eternal. And I'm one of his kids in this new life with this new ideas because I'm no longer oppressed by the old ideas of the earth. But when I start thinking like this, I irritate people. They won't believe another way. I come up against their thoughts, their beliefs, and they get mad. Oh, they get horribly mad, and they will not be controlled. And I had to learn that I had to sometimes say nothing, but just rebuke it all and cast those words down in my own thoughts and say nothing. I had to learn about, once I got free a little bit, I had to learn about being oppressed. Who were the oppressors? What were they using to oppress me? Because I couldn't even be free until I learned so much. And I learned that an oppressed spirit and its broken will must be set free of the oppression and the oppressors. And I want to end right here with this episode. I never like to go too far because it's powerful stuff, and we can only take it in little bites, in little bit. You go study this Dr. Myles Munroe for yourself. Read all of his books. Watch his videos. They're on YouTube for free. Sit under him sort of as a student, a disciple. Let him be your master teacher. He has a great viewpoint compared to most people. Most people's religions don't even come close to his understanding. Some of them want you to follow a prophet or a master teacher, but they want you to not see yourself in the way that Myles Munroe wants you to see yourself, as a spiritual king that's oppressed. And then you have to learn about kingdoms. And what is a king? Because we don't really know anything. Most of us are from democracies, or we're from dictatorships. Even if there is elections, it's all rigged, it's not right. Because we need to understand government, not only for ourselves, our spirit, soul, and physical body, but for the nations. That's right. So I will pick up again in the next episode here of the oppressed spirit. So you take care, and I'll see you in school again. Bye-bye.